And so we begin this video as the wind blows here on Miami Beach. Check out these palm trees. Hey, did you know Miami Beach is the first place the Beatles ever saw a palm tree? Yeah, that's correct. Back in 1964, right here in Miami, the Beatles. That's the subject matter today. We come to Miami. There's much ahead. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. And yes, I am wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Not just any Hawaiian shirt. One with flamingos on it. Thank you, and shout out to my friend Vic, who bought me this shirt, gave me this shirt for Christmas. Thanks, bro. I picked a special occasion for it. Miami Beach, the place where the Beatles met Muhammad Ali. That is the title of the video which you clicked on. Welcome to Miami Beach, everyone. We're about to go on a bit of a walk along the beach. Not literally. The beach is right over there, by the way. The water, the sand. I'll get there eventually this weekend. I'm in town, so is Chris the girl. Chris the girl not with me right now. She's actually in South Miami filming another video. We kind of split up, but tomorrow we'll do something together. Of course, I'm gonna pick her up later. Maybe I'll vlog that. But yeah, back in 1964, the Beatles came to Miami and they played on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I thought I would come down here and show you exactly where that happened. And during their stay, they visited the 5th Street boxing gym, the world famous boxing gym where Cassius Clay, AKA Muhammad Ali, he first was called Cassius Clay, that was his name, and then he became Muhammad Ali. Just for those younglings out there, Muhammad Ali was training to go up against world heavyweight champion Sonny Liston, and Muhammad Ali fought that fight, the first fight here in Miami Beach, and Muhammad Ali won the heavyweight title. A few days prior, the Beatles just happened to be here in town, and they went over and watched a practice round. There were some famous photos that were taken of that event, but that was a big deal here in Miami. The Beatles just invaded, and they had just come down from New York City. They had played the first Ed Sullivan Show up in New York, and they flew down to Miami a few days later, played the second one here, and they met Muhammad Ali. So I want to show you where those things happen. I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. Loved them since I was a kid. So many great and awesome songs. Just to say a few things up front here about my love for the Beatles. Such a heavy influence on my life. And also boxing. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxer, arguably, of all time. Cassius Clay trained in the location you will see today. And wow, I'm getting goosebumps on my goosebumps, but let's get there. My friends, there is much ahead right here this weekend on Miami Beach. You have no idea. I love this Art Deco, by the way. That's amazing. All right, here we go. And making my way up 5th Street, but I just wanted to show you right behind Ocean Drive, behind the classic iconic Art Deco hotels, you have this long alleyway that goes behind all of the classic motels. Isn't it cool to look all the way down there? It goes for about a mile. It's pretty sweet. I think of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, one of my favorite video games, virtually going back and forth down the alleyways, getting into trouble and whatnot. Just cool to see this. But yeah, here we go. Down 5th Street, this way. Also, always wearing the Spicolis, bro. All right, guys, this is amazing. I didn't realize, see, I thought it was the 14th. I thought it was Valentine's Day. But on February 18th, 1964, welcome to the anniversary of Muhammad Ali meeting the Beatles right here on 5th Street at 555 Washington and 5th. The former location of the 5th Street gym was right there. And this, I'll put the photos into frame. This is where Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay, met the Beatles, and they had that famous photo op. And it would have been on the former 2nd floor of the building that used to stand here, that was torn down years ago in the 90s. right here on this corner, that's where that stood. Now, I have a picture of that former building. It was hard to find, but right here on the interweb, it was actually the second story of the drugstore, and that is where the world famous 5th Street Gym is, where Muhammad Ali trained to become the heavyweight champion of the world. A few days later, after meeting the Beatles up there, he fought Sonny Liston and won at the Miami Convention Center. So there was a lot of things going on. The Beatles were in town for the show down the street, which we'll get there eventually, where they stayed and played, but they came down here on February 18th, and we're here on the same day years later. This is nuts. I can't believe this is happening. I realized it was around this time the Beatles actually played the Ed Sullivan Show on February 16th, which happens to be my grandmother's birthday, by the way. Rest in peace, Grandma, I miss ya. We just celebrated that. But on February 18th, a few days later, right across the street there, that is where the Beatles met Muhammad Ali 57 years ago today. Wow, goosebumps on my goosebumps. I did not plan that. I did not. You can ask Chris the girl later. We'll get her in the video. Some very hilarious and iconic photos taken between the Beatles and Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. I read that Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, who was the underdog at the time, about ready to, you know, take on the heavyweight champion of the world. He was kind of standoffish at first when the Beatles got there. Actually, the Beatles were like, "Hey, baby, never mind. He doesn't seem like he's in a good mood." But then someone, someone broke the ice, and then all of a sudden they're having fun up there in the boxing ring, taking these photos, which are hilarious and iconic, by the way. You know, I saw these photos over the years, and I always just assumed that these were taken later in both of their careers. It's pretty amazing that these people right here were about to become legendary. The Beatles had just got here, just invaded America. Actually, about a week before, they were up in New York playing the first Ed Sullivan Show. So this was a huge moment. This was big, and little did they know. They were big at the time, don't get me wrong, but little did we know that these two would become the greatest at what they do. These two groups here, the Beatles and Muhammad Ali. Wow. And here's a photo of the old boxing gym. It would have been on the second floor. Take notice of these windows up here, because you can make out those windows behind the Beatles and everyone in the boxing gym that day, behind Cassius Clay. Those windows are obviously, from inside looking out, are behind them. And also the entrance was here to the far right. The former entrance of the boxing gym actually sat more closer on this side of the former drugstore at Collins Court and 5th. There's a picture of Muhammad Ali actually walking underneath the sign. That sign is directly above the entrance and the staircase up to the second level of the former drugstore. That is what led up to the boxing gym. So out here in this vicinity somewhere along the sidewalk there is where that photo was taken. And again, this photo, the photo we see of the former drugstore slash boxing gym, is the only picture I could find of that gym. Check this out. This is awesome. Here at 555, the current pharmacy that sits here, right here next to the door, there's a plaque that commemorates the world famous 5th Street Gym, and it says 1950 to 1993. So there you go. That's when it closed down. Angelo Dundee. So it was Angelo Dundee who opened the 5th Street Gym. And right here, Angelo Dundee himself. That's him right there below his 15 world boxing champions. And on this plaque, all of the 15 world boxing champions that Angelo Dundee coached right here at the 5th Street Gym. Check this out, guys. This is some awesome boxing history. Willie Pastrana, Muhammad Ali, Carmen Basilio, Sugar Ray Leonard, Ralph Dupas, Luis Rodriguez, Sugar Ramos, Jimmy Ellis, Jose Napoles, Michael Nunn, George Foreman, Edelson Rodriguez, George Scott, Pinklin Thomas, and Slobodan Kakar. I hope I didn't butcher any of that. But the boxing history that went down right here in this spot at the former world famous gym. Wow, that's just mind-blowing. I will actually come back here to do a full video on that, but this is more so about the Beatles. I am a huge fan of boxing and Muhammad Ali. But right here, that is where all that history went down. We're talking about Mike Tyson also. He trained in here as well. And right here on the corner of 5th and Washington, looking up at the new building, it's quite impressive, isn't it? There's a banner on the light post. Look, a QR code. You can actually scan this and take a little tour, a little history tour. It says scan me. If you take a screenshot, it'll last longer. Not that it really matters, but for specifics to be accurate, here in this vicinity, in the windows, beyond the windows of the current drugstore that's down here, and this vicinity is where Muhammad Ali would have went to train every day when he was training for boxing, and also this is where the Beatles would have walked up the former staircase, somewhere in this vicinity, more so near 5th Street and Collins, right here. World famous gym, the boxing gym, 5th Street gym. Now, there is still a 5th Street boxing gym. After the gym was torn down, years later, it moved to several places, but currently, there is still a 5th Street boxing gym on 5th Street. And we're gonna head down there now. We actually have to walk down 5th Street. By the way, that's where I parked. That thing that looks like a giant farm silo. Right there, that's a parking garage. I paid 20 bucks to park there, but yeah. We're gonna walk down this way and show you the current location of the world famous 5th Street gym. And the Beatles, of course, were staying here on Miami Beach. They spent a few weeks here. They were teenagers enjoying the beach. This is the most tropical place they had ever been to. They actually, they got on a yacht and got out into the Miami Bay. Ringo was at the helm. There's a rumor that he crashed the boat into a seawall or something like that. Something crazy, just kids being kids. I mean, here they are, teenagers coming to America, world famous off the bat, and I can't imagine, you know, wow, what it must have been like to be a Beatle and come here for the first time. It's beautiful out here, by the way. About 3 blocks up from 555 Washington, right here along 5th, still on 5th, but however, in an alleyway right down there to the right is the current location of the world famous 5th Street boxing gym, right here behind the Naughty Rooster. And check it out, a moment ago I was shooting the camera from over there down the alleyway past the Naughty Rooster. It looks like the boxing gym right here, the 5th Street world famous boxing gym, is open right now. Might be able to take a peek in the door for you. Yeah, check it out, they got a punching bag hanging right there. All right, there you go. I've been invited to take some photos. World famous 5th Street Miami gym. Also, it looks like they're doing some MMA training in here. And there's the sign back there. And I believe that sign used to hang at 555. There's the ring. I don't think that's the same ring the Beatles were in, but hey, it could be. I'll definitely ask, let you know. It's amazing. Oh, and of course, Muhammad Ali. We got the Drago fight there from Rocky 4. Oh look, Clubber Lang from Rocky 3. Tons of memorabilia on the wall. I would love to come back here and just do a whole video on this boxing gym, and you can hear someone training in here right now, punching the bag behind me. Poster of Muhammad Ali right here on the wall. And right there's the poster. Liston versus Clay. So February 25th, 1964 is when he beat Sonny Liston for the world heavyweight title. Became champ. Just another look before we head to where the Beatles stayed at during their time here. I don't want to leave here. This is amazing. I'm a huge fan of boxing and Rocky, as you know, doing the filming locations of the first 2 movies. This boxing rink looks pretty old. I'm gonna ask and see if this was the one that Ali perhaps trained on. If not him, I mean, professional boxers still train here, so wow, Ali could have punched this. No, I doubt that. That looks pretty new. There was a time where I wanted to get into boxing and I actually started training. Kind of wish I would have stuck with it. I actually went into MMA, and I've never told this story before, but long story short, I broke my foot and I didn't walk for 6 months. I was trying to be like Rocky originally. I should have stuck with boxing. Okay, so that was awesome. And I will be back. I did ask if that was the original boxing ring from the original 5th Street gym. It is not. That thing has been switched out a few times. So just a fun thought. It looked very old though. It does have some age to it. All right, about to hop into my car up in the parking garage and head to North Beach for the hotel spot and the location where the Beatles played the Ed Sullivan Show on February 16th. Oh yeah. Love this Art Deco, by the way. Gonna be in town a few days, folks. And one last look at 555 before I head up to my car in the parking garage. 57 years ago today, the Beatles met Muhammad Ali right there on the corner of 5th and Washington on the 2nd story. World famous 5th gym. To sum it up, now heading to North Beach to where the Beatles stayed and played on the Ed Sullivan Show. There's still much ahead, folks. Always much ahead. Oh my gosh, will you look at that tomato? Ever since San Diego, if you know, you know. Return the killer tomatoes. And as we're heading to the next location, I just want to mention something. My car, for the 3rd time in less than a year, is broken down in the shop back in Tampa. No! So I want to thank Chris the girl for allowing us to drive her car today. Thanks, babe. I've been driving it quite a bit lately. Hopefully the repairs, again, will not be costly again. My car, the Volkswagen Jetta, man, it might be my first and last Volkswagen. If you've been paying attention, you know I've had a lot of problems with it. So hopefully this time around, we'll see. We'll see. And by the way, every time I'm in Vice City, I listen to V-Rock. And check it out, over here. About ready to turn left out here onto Indian Creek Drive. Look at all the Art Deco. Ooh, lots of it. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you 6701 Collins Avenue. Across the street here, you see rubble piles. You see a void in between all of these hotels. Check it out, just to give you the vibe, let it sit in. 6701 Collins Avenue. We're about 4 months too late, folks. Right there. Still being torn down. We'll get a little closer. There's still some of it left down there. But this is the former site of the Deauville Hotel, where the Beatles played and stayed in 1964. The Ed Sullivan Show was right across the street here in the former auditorium. Right here along the beach, the boardwalk right over there. This is the location. The only place in Florida, the only time the Beatles ever played a show in Florida was right across the street here in the former hotel that was most recently torn down in November. Dang. Got here way too late, and I apologize for that. I was trying to get down here sooner, but the time is now, and at least we can reminisce. I'll talk more about what happened inside the hotel and what happened with the Beatles during their stay here. But I'm gonna go across the street, take a look, see what we can see. And approaching, I'm right here beside the fence. I can more than well look over. Here's some of the rubble. This is a bit of an announcement to some folks. This building, this hotel, sat vacant for, I believe, nearly a decade. And there are people who got inside the hotel. There's pictures online of the area where the Ed Sullivan Show went down. Ed Sullivan himself on stage with the Beatles on February 16th, 1964. There's so many photos of the Beatles in this hotel, all the way around it, on the beach behind it. Several hundreds and thousands of women coming around the hotel around their stay. The day of the broadcast, the Beatles were almost late to the show. They came down the elevator and were greeted by hundreds of ladies that almost kept them from going live on air. Actually, Ed Sullivan had to stall and go to a commercial break because the Beatles couldn't walk 200 feet to get on stage. It was basically live on TV, I believe, the Ed Sullivan Show. Again, Ed Sullivan was here That's another thing within itself. This is holy ground right here. The Beatles would practice in the basement their whole stay, every day in the basement here of the former Deauville Hotel. And yeah, it's gone. This land is being developed, as you can see right here by the signs, by the Brickell Group. Also, there's still a piece of the wall right here that I can touch. Check this out. The Deauville Hotel. And just documenting what's left. I'm gonna zoom in on this rubble here. This was part of the hotel. I mean, there's debris out there that the Beatles walked on. I might have to take a memento or something. Look at that. Holy cow. If you take a screenshot, it'll last longer. Yeah, I'm gonna be walking away with a piece. There's just pieces of it everywhere. With a piece of the hotel before I leave. I don't know if this was like the main wall, but it very could have been. I'm just letting the camera roll as I'm walking along the fence so you can see it. Let's get a little taller right there. Hold on. All right, check it out. The construction site here is closing up for the day. They're closing the gate behind me, so I walked up a little further. Look at this. Oh my gosh, here's some of the railing. I don't know if you can pinpoint this on a screenshot. I've got a couple pictures of the hotel. I'll put down in the lower right. I'll put into frame. There's so much like rebar all tangled up out there. And the basement is, again, where the Beatles practice, would have been out there somewhere. Amazing. It's gone. Piece of rock and roll history right here. The time, you know, when the Beatles met Muhammad Ali, played the Ed Sullivan Show. Wow. Man, I wish I would have got inside there before it got torn down, or at least, you know, got out here and got you a shot of it, but dang. Honestly, I didn't expect to see this much. It's been 4 months. There's actually a very cool video online. I've got some pictures of it. They imploded the building. They blew it up with TNT. And here we go. This is what's left. So they've been working on this for several months, cleaning it up. You can make out the lifeguard stations on the beach out there. The beach literally right there on the other side. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. This was taken out on the beach. This is the moment when the hotel explodes, implodes. You can make out this hotel. Can't really see these because this building's in the way from this vantage point, but you can definitely make out the top of that hotel from the other side. Holy cow. Right here at the end of 67th Street, by the way, in Collins. Wow, this is amazing. This looks like it was part of the sign right here. It looks like a little circuit board, maybe a light or something. Wow. The video's out there. You can watch this thing implode, but I found a couple still shots of it online. Looks like they got the cats in here taking out the front. Just a couple more pictures of it imploding. That's amazing. That's crazy. And here are the Beatles walking through the lobby of the Deauville. Very Art Deco hotel there. Very cool photo, by the way. This was their first trip ever, really, anywhere. You know, they just had left New York, and what a vast difference between New York and Miami. You know, if you know, you know. Like, wow. Also, here's a picture of them practicing in the basement here. Look at that. George there on the guitar. Of course, you got Paul to the right, and John Lennon right there. It looks like a photographer. You can't see Ringo, but he's over there to the left on the drums. I also found this pamphlet of the Deauville. This would have been about the same time they were visiting. Looks like these pictures are from the 60s. Just a nice little brochure here. You don't have to go far. Well, not anymore. That's what it says there to the upper right. And also, there's a picture of the ballroom where they played on the Ed Sullivan Show. Right down there in the lower left, there's a picture of where they actually played back here on February 16th, 1964, right there in this pamphlet. So I found this photo of the main entrance right here of the Deauville Hotel. If you look in the background, you can make out the hotel that's there to the left behind us. So it would have been somewhere right here, this entryway at the end of 67th Street in Collins. That's a very cool, very mid-century sign and entryway. Just have to use your imagination, but you can kind of see where the former driveway was. This is where that was taken. And I noticed a lot of blue in that photograph, so I'm thinking some of that rock up there that I saw before might actually be from the front railing of the hotel. Like right up here, you see this? That's all blue. I'm thinking that some of that rock back there, which I'm gonna take with me, I'm thinking it's about in the same location. I'm thinking that's it. I'm gonna take some of that with me, I got to. Okay, there's a bus bench right here. I'm gonna step up on it so I can look over the fence. Get about a 2.5 foot more height advantage here for you. This is the only standing portion of the hotel that's left right here on the south side. I'm gonna zoom in for you. There you go. If you take a screenshot, it'll last longer. But yeah, a lot of work to do still. And now a little further down the sidewalk, here's a look at that last piece of remaining portion of the hotel. Looking in. Check it out. I'm gonna zoom up there, see if you can see anything. I actually see a pigeon up there in the ductwork. You see it? The ductwork's still hanging. There's a pigeon up there. Hello, pigeon. Wow. And over here, this piece of concrete right there, it's very dangerous in there. That piece of concrete right there that probably weighs a ton, hanging by a thread of rebar. Holy cow. There's actually pieces of glass right here. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that might be cool too. I don't want to cut myself though. There's a piece of glass. All right, maybe I'll take one of these. Gotta be careful though. Yeah, quite amazing to be standing right here. The amount of history that I just walked among right here on Miami Beach today. Wow, I have so many goosebumps. What a privilege and an honor to be able to come down here and check these spots out. Even if they're gone, these are still the locations that a history that very important to the history of boxing and music. The Beatles and Muhammad Ali right here at the same time. Who would know they would go on to be legendary, you know, right here in February 1964. Amazing. The Beatles, Beatlemania began there a couple weeks before the British invasion, as they call it, and the rest was history. But it all started right here in the United States, more so New York, but also this is where the Beatles had their fun, and they were dipping their toes into the sand right out there on the beach. Amazing. Very cool. Check out these cars over here, by the way, these classic cars. That really sets the vibe too. All this Art Deco. Wow, I can't believe it's gone. Glad we got to see a little bit though. This is all that's left of the Deauville Hotel where the Beatles stayed. Much behind, my friends. Much ahead. All right, so I gotta walk back to my car, but I'm gonna let the camera roll past the hotel so you can see the debris one more last time. Everything going on here. I parked down the street there. Check it out. All right, here we go. while. And here are the rocks I'm gonna take with me too. I got some glass and some rocks. Souvenirs. Check it out. Deauville Hotel, where the Beatles played on the Ed Sullivan Show. Thankfully, there's still a ton left. So if you're watching this, you're in the Miami area, come quick. It's about all gone. I mean, it's gone. It's so gone. It's starting to rain a little bit, and I gotta go pick up Chris the girl. She's almost done. But here you go. The northernmost perimeter wall of the hotel. Still there. That's it. That's it, folks. And I just met a gentleman right here. He came up to me, asked me what I was doing nicely. He was just curious. Chris, shout out to him. He was actually a firefighter in New York City on 9/11. So thank you for your service, Chris. He was here when the building imploded, and he said that they had no idea it was going down. And you know, you wake up to an explosion and you come out and you see dust everywhere. And we're back. I'm soaked. Okay, so it started downpouring. I am now, as you can see, back in the vehicle, parked in this Publix parking garage. I met a gentleman named Chris. We got in a conversation. He was here at the hotel next door, as he is today, when they imploded the building back in November. And they said that they gave no one no warning, that they woke up to an explosion, and there was dust everywhere. And he was going into the story saying there weren't a lot of people like wearing masks for the debris and the toxins going through the air. So he was concerned about being that, you know, being a 9/11 firefighter and all that. So that was a great opportunity. What a small world. Just got in a quick conversation with him. So nice to meet you, Chris, and thank you for your service. And shout out to all those people that were there that day in New York. Don't forget about that day. Those people are dealing with a lot of health issues because of the debris, getting cancer and whatnot. And that was the concern about that debris flying around here. It was like another day at Miami Beach, he said, and no warning, they imploded the former Deauville Hotel. So yeah, just throwing that in here. Gonna go pick up my beautiful fiance now in South Miami. She's at a botanical garden. And before I forget, I almost forgot, I was starting to mention what songs the Beatles played back at the hotel. The Fab Four started off with She Loves You, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. Second song, I saw her standing there. Then I Wanna Be Your Man, From Me to You, and This Boy. Those were the 6 songs that the Beatles played right there on the stage. Look at that Miami skyline out there. Wow. That's sure grown in the last 20 years, by the way. So many new buildings. Oh my gosh, guys. 59 years ago, not 57. I realized this entire time I've been doing 57 years. For some reason, I'm stuck in 2021. 59 years ago, 2023 subtracted 1,964 is 59. So there you go, my bad. And the Miami International Airport, plane taking off there. This is where the Beatles landed back in 1964, and some 7,000 fans came out to say hello. Hello to the Mop Tops, right there. Somewhere out there. Just randomly passing by here. American Airlines. What if they flew American? And passing through Coral Gables. What a beautiful stretch of Miami here in South Miami. Awesome neighborhoods. The trees especially. Check out this like alleyway of banyan trees. This is gnarly, bro. Beautiful stuff. Almost to Chris the girl. Oh yeah, here we go, babe. All right. Chris the girl somewhere out here. Somewhere. Oh, I think I see her. She's sitting right there. Do you see her? Here she comes. Okay, would you like to tell them where I picked you up this time and what you were doing?
The Fairchild Botanical Gardens. And
so you did an entire...
and having a good time.
Okay, so check out her video.
Appreciate it.
All right. And, oh, I gotta tell you something. So I discovered, you know how I told you I thought that the event, the Beatles meeting Muhammad Ali happened like days ago? Like it was actually today, February 18th.
Okay.
I was there on the 59th anniversary of that event.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, just crazy, yeah. But yeah, go check out Chris the Girl's video. We're in Miami for the weekend. We're both gonna be, you know, making videos. So there you go, go check it out. And another airplane there. Check it out. Heading to our hotel, but first we must eat Fuddruckers. I've never had Fuddruckers. Chris suggested this. They used to be in Orlando, right next to Disney Springs. When was the last time you had Fuddruckers?
The last time I remember having Fuddruckers was, if I'm not mistaken, Crossroads.
Yeah, that's right.
In Orlando.
Right across from Disney Springs, yeah.
Don't believe is there anymore?
Oh, it's been bulldozed, sad.
I think so.
Okay, this is my first time. World's greatest hamburgers. I don't know what I'm gonna get though. Maybe
They have a bunch of different kinds of hamburgers.
Okay.
Actually, some weird ones.
Ooh, I like weird burgers. Okay, they got like a Route 66 thing going on here. Check it out. Also, the Blues Brothers. Jake and Elwood. Smells good in here too. Oh, they have a toppings bar. Fantastic. And good call, Chris the Girl. What a nice tie-in. We're gonna sit next to the Beatles table.
Yeah.
Check it out. You got John Lennon at the top. There you go, the Fab Four. I doubt they ate at Fuddruckers.
I don't think so. I mean, we can't corroborate that, but
I don't think they were.
I'm sure they didn't.
Did they have Fuddruckers, sorry, when the Beatles were around? Look, they got themselves a guitar case up there. This is pretty cool. Look at all the memorabilia up here. Got Three Stooges up here in the corner. There you go. I didn't go overboard at the toppings bar. I just did ketchup, mustard, a lot of onions. There's a mound of pickles in there. Some sauerkraut, I think. I just took my first bite. That's a good burger. All right, it was good. I'll be back to Fuddruckers. We looked it up. The only Fuddruckers in Florida are in Miami. There's like 5 in this vicinity. So no more in Orlando. Chris the Girl's cashing out on her cookie before we leave.
Yep.
And guess what's playing right now?
Paul McCartney.
And Wings. We've got to get out of here. That's amazing. 59 years ago today, he was in Miami. Flamingo! I think this is the first time I've ever worn a flamingo Hawaiian shirt.
I think so. It suits you. I really like it.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad. Thanks again, Vic, for the gift. He got this back at Christmas for me, and I was waiting for a special opportunity to wear it. Little did I know I would wear it to Miami 59 years later when the Beatles were walking around, you know, special occasion. So there you go. We did it. Video is over. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe below if you like this type of content. If you like other types of content, I do all kinds of things. Haunted houses, filming locations, theme parks, roadside attractions, which we'll be doing some of that this weekend. But yeah, I'm Tampa J, and there's always much ahead. And also, this is Chris the Girl. She has a channel as well, and you know that. Thanks for everyone who always watches and sticks to the end. You guys are awesome. And yeah, check out her video again at the Fairchild Botanical Gardens. That place looked amazing. I can't wait to watch the video. You were telling me some great things about it in there. There was a crocodile in there and stuff.
Yeah, I saw a crocodile.
Crocodile?
Real crocodile.
They got crocs in Miami, so yeah, look forward to that. But here we go. See you tomorrow. There's much ahead. We end at Fuddruckers. How's the cookie, by the way?
It is delicious.
You got the sugar cookie.
Yeah, it's very good.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys. Bye-bye. Oh, I gotta bite it, and then I dropped the... No, I dropped the cookie.
Precious cookie.
No, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. I got another piece, though, right there. Ah! Oh, thank you.
I swear if you drop this.
Is this the last piece? Mmm, that's so good. All right, see you later. Bye-bye. We ended up Fuddruckers. And welcome to the bonus features. I've stayed in a lot of Marriott Bonvoys. This one, a very cool sofa right there. I guess it's because it's Miami, you know?
Maybe. This is nice.
We didn't pay too much for this, actually. This was the best deal we found.
Oh my gosh, hotels are so expensive this weekend.
Yeah,
And this was
President's
the cheapest
Day.
one. So.
We stole this place. All right. 2 nights here. Tomorrow, back in Miami Beach. That's all I'm saying. There's much ahead.